Well, hello everyone. Yeah, haven't made a video for a few days because after getting back from Munich, I was kind of wigged out because my foot hurt very badly and was not recovering. It had been recovering while I was in Munich, but once I got to Warsaw, it stopped. So I ended up taking a few extra days off, not doing too much of anything, but I did explore a little bit. Um, and did a little bit of volunteering, but not too much. Turns out the hotel I'm staying is directly at the beginning of the old town, which I did not realize. I um I took a steps outside of my hotel and simply looking in the other direction than the way I'd always been going, I saw an old cobblestone road and I followed that down and ended up in the area where there's the Frederick Chopin museum. There's a statue dedicated to what's his name? I can't remember the guy who presented the heliocentric um, theory of planets. Starts like Nicholas something. He apparently has a huge science center nearby, as I learned from one of the other volunteers, who is a lady who lives here. Um, Walked by the Warsaw University and all sorts of stuff. I found another church, another two churches actually, that I walked inside of, and while smaller than the one Sonia showed me in Germany, there's an intense amount of gold and silver everywhere. I even ended up taking a picture just of the doorknob that I had to use to uh, get to. I had the doorknob I had to use to get out. Is just this intricately laid silver doorknob. Um, yeah, I wanted to try seeing if I could find cheap clothes because I wanted uh, some more pairs of underwear and also at least one Polish shirt, which I did get. Polska. I think this is a sports team. I'm not sure. Um, but so I went and did some googling for a shopping center that was cheap. Rode 40 minutes of the tram out of the way, and ended up not being cheap. It was uh, everything's pretty similarly priced. It seems to America. It's like maybe a little bit cheaper, but not really particularly worth going out shopping too much. Except where I went, there were a whole bunch of suit stores where you could buy lots of suits. Um, and I am still mulling over in my head the idea of buying an entire suit here because they are not terribly expensive for a nice suit. But I did not do that. I might do that if like near the end of the trip or something, depending on how much money I have. Um, yeah, I today I finally did another big day of volunteering again, where I was slopping out some food for refugees and cleaning tables and whatnot. Um, I met two girls there who were both they both live in Warsaw and they were just here in their spare time. One of them is a tattoo artist. She seemed kind of cool, but also she did reveal that there are other um, nonprofits working inside Warsaw Central, which I knew there would be probably, but I just had not been able to talk to people enough to find out about them. She spends what time she can volunteering. There's a nonprofit that just takes cares of the animals people bring, and I guess they just babysit them and as long as they need taken care of. She herself, she even has a cat that some Ukrainian lady showed up at the train station. She had two, and she was like, "I can't take care of both of them while I'm on the road. Like, we could lend." And she took the one cat, and that's her cat now. Um, yeah, just I mean, I'm getting kind of handle on this, and I don't want to say Warsaw's become boring, but it's becoming familiar. Um, I've finally hit a point where I um, went to a restaurant that was not directly Polish. I went to a Vietnamese place and had some pho, of which there's a good chunk of Vietnamese and Asian stuff in general around. Um, yeah, I also went to, at Mike's behest, a bar called the Jabir Walkie. Um, since he sent it to me, he's like, "Oh, you got to try it out." And I went, and it was a nice craft beer place, and it honestly felt like kind of disappointing because it felt so American. It felt just like a bar you could find in America. I felt like I wasn't getting a Polish experience, except for I was having some Polish craft beers, which was funny. But yeah, drinking is really cheap here. That was that was definitely interesting. I stayed at a bar for a while, and I only had to spend 57 zloty, which is like $20. Not even $20. I think it was 16 on my credit card statement. But, anyways, that's it for today and the past couple days. I did go to a laundromat. I managed to clean all my clothes, and I did have the experience of it was the most technologically advanced laundromat that I've ever been to, because you do not pay for your washing machines and dryers with coins. There's a little setup thing in the wall that you put your credit card in, and you tell it which machine you're going to use, and it pays for the usage of that machine. So I accidentally wasted like 50 zloty because I went up to the machine, paid for a machine. I thought I was paying for any machine that could wash 15 kilograms of clothes. And it turns out I actually paid for like one machine. And then I threw all of my clothes into like machine number 8, closed the door, and then the door locked automatically. And I had to pay for the machine again. I had to pay for 8 so it would actually run. Apparently, it's actually kind of cool though, because it lets you. It's impossible to like steal someone's washer when they like walk away or anything. Once the door locks, it will stay locked until it runs and finishes. So that was pretty interesting. Um, I had to walk 11 minutes through Old Town to get to the laundromat. According to the lady I met, Jagoda, her name apparently means blueberry in Polish, and she is not terribly happy about it. She says, apparently laundromats are not actually common in Poland, uh, so that's interesting to note. Um, but yeah, I think I know how much time I have left, so I'll probably book my ticket back to the United States tonight or tomorrow night for like in about a week and a half. I already scheduled a bunch of days with another hotel and two, but I figure though that will be the end of my trip. So unless something drastic happens, I guess I know what I'm pretty much doing for the rest of my trip here. So, all right. Good night.